and welcome to another Titaniumgeek video. I'm Dave, and this week we're talking about the Wahoofitness KICKR ROLLR. Say that on Easter Sunday with chocolate in your mouth. Anyway, what we're going to do is take you through the unboxing right the way through to our experience using it, and then at the end what I'm going to do is tell you 3 things I like and 3 things I don't like. So here's the rest of the video. Okay, the unboxing of the Wahoo KICKR. Not just the normal Wahoo KICKR though, it's the Wahoo KICKR rollers. And we've got, during the revolution, slight accident there with the scissors. Quite like this, in fact really like this, because it shows you what it should look like once you've put your bike up. That's exactly what's missing on my bike at the moment, which is a chain, which is something I'm doing with my chain waxing stuff, which is probably for another video. Normal information on the side of the box. Interesting design actually, the lid goes inside. So all these do is just knock off the camera while I take this out. So it was foggy this morning, clearly my brain's still foggy, the box was upside down. So that's what it looks like set up. Wahoo KICKR ROLLR. At control resistance, easy setup, natural ride feel. Love rollers. I do love rollers. I have been known to fall off them in the garage. It's another story. Lid off what's inside. Now, it weighs a flipping ton. Well, 30 kilograms, which isn't a ton, but 30 kilograms. Now, inside the box with this is a more or less ready-built Wahoo KICKR ROLLR. You don't need to do what you normally need to do with a lot of turbo trainers come in the box, whereas to get the Allen key that comes with it or get your spanner kit out and put it together, this is already done. It's literally just fitting it together, as you'll see in a second, as in the one end to the other end to get the right size for your bike. This is a great little feature. Instead of having a manual, well, there might be one in the box, but what you do is setup instructions, you just scan this QR code. Great little feature. Always like these additional little bits that people do, and Wahoo always seem to be coming up with new stuff, which is good. KICKR comes in 2 portions. So what we'll call that support angle. There's my son's car racing up the back wall, and there are the rollers, and also the electronics gubbins, well, electrical gubbins, power pack, and European and UK 3-pin plug, so you've got the option. So that's pretty handy in itself. Some of the other stuff very similar. You'll see that's the same type of flywheel on the KICKR core that I've got sitting in the garage at the moment. Underside, genuine Wahoofitness, nicely constructed. Let's see what it looks like when it's put up. Right, what we're going to do is you put the 2 bits together, literally just slide together. So here, and all I'm going to do now is just tighten these screws either side, because that's in the instructions. You just download those into your Dropbox from Wahoo. So you just Google setup, those files arrive, drop down, have a look, very easy to do. So I'll do this. You might be looking at patios and what's all this green stuff. So rather than blinking shot blasting my shot blasting, but anyway, patio all the time, we actually let plants grow in between. It seems to work better anyway. That's what we like. Bit of eco stuff right there. This is what's different with these rollers, is the retainer of the front wheel. So for those people who are roller cautious, let's say, this takes all the caution away, as you'll see in a second. So normally rollers, you need good balance and you need to really keep steady. And for those of us who've written on the virtual training platforms like RGT and Zwift, Wahoo, MyWhoosh, etc., you will notice that, well, you will have noticed, if you've got great skill, you probably haven't noticed, but if you're me, when you're on a twisty course, it can get pretty hairy as you bang from one side of the rollers to the other, and you almost come off, as you saw earlier. So with these, this doesn't happen because it keeps your bike in place. Well, it did for us in testing. So I'm overdubbing this in retrospect as I'm editing this video, and we had no problems whatsoever. But you know, I had a dog barking in the background as I was doing this. Not mine, I must say. But anyway, so I've done this overdub. These are the retaining screws. Those are the only two bits you have to put together with it when it comes. Put those in place, and then what you have over is a little switch that you, or a lever, you lift, and you can stretch or shorten the rollers to accommodate your bike. What I have here is an example of a very long bike, believe it or not. This is a 26-inch wheel Cannondale, an old retro classic Cannondale. What we've done is put these on here just for convenience because it's available in the bike shed at the side. Put it on, and I wanted to see how 26-inch mountain bike wheels would fit. And actually, compared to gravel bikes nowadays, these look relatively narrow tyres, don't they? So this has got slicks on it at the moment. Goes on absolutely fine. You just tighten it up and loosen it off. Now, what you will notice, and we noticed this in testing, if your floor isn't perfectly level, which my garage floor mustn't be, and you clamp your bike in place firmly, you climb on, you might feel that you're not balanced. So all you can do is just loosen off that front clamp. Your front wheel moves about a little bit and you feel more balanced. So you can see all we've done here on this one is we've stretched the frame out, not the frame of the bike obviously, but the frame of the Wahoo KICKR ROLLR, to get the front wheels in place, in the right place, and the rear wheels where they should be. There you go, you can see my shadow, non-handed, sitting on the bike in the garden, off camber and totally stable. Wobbling around, totally fine. So rollers without the Alton Towers experience in your garage excitement. For your entertainment, we thought we'd set up in the garden some decent light just to show you the Wahoo KICKR ROLLR. This is after just over a week of testing. What we've got here is a headwind fan as well, as you can see, and this does pump out some air. Funnily enough, I know a lot of the videos show you putting the fan there. There's a slight deviation and, you know, tangent boulevard, let's say, from the KICKR ROLLR, putting it there, that's what they'll show you. I find them, they're actually better if you put them closer into the side. But anyway, just as easy as that. There's my bike with the turbo training thong on as well. Thank you, Saris, the brand. Just drop it in. I've adjusted the KICKR ROLLR for the right length of the bike, and we just adjust the clamp up alongside the wheel. If you've got carbon rims like me, there is cushioning on the end, well, rubber in the inside of here. So far, I can't see no marks whatsoever on the wheels, which is good. And you can just see how it all fits together. Very easy, just super quick to put your bike in and out. You can see the pivot point is a normal pivot point on your forks, because when you're pedaling hard, your back wheel moves side to side on the back of the rollers. And I'll put a video up at the end of this just to show you what one looks like in action when I'm riding around. I think it was about 350 watts when I videoed that. There you go. If you've got, as I mentioned earlier, if you've got a standard Wahoo KICKR core, you'll recognise that. But remember, this doesn't come with a power meter. Your power meter is your pedals, and you either use the Wahoo pedals or another brand like me here with Garmin's on this particular bike. There you go. There's no power plugged into this, so you can see you could just use it for warming up as well and doing sessions. So you can take it away with you if you've got the space, like a big van or something like that. But there you go. That's just the turbo trainer in action. Just very quickly set up, literally minutes. All your wheels in, everything. Now, I was asked about wear on the tyre, on the rear tyre. So far, I've got no wear on my Continentals at all. Just nothing like you would get with a wheel-on turbo trainer. Going on and off, I just hold the clamp at the front. It's as simple as that. And you know, you can loosen it off if you want a little bit of movement, as I mentioned before. So all pretty straightforward. Very easy to do. What else is there to say, really? Taking the bike out is a doddle, so you can just lift the bike out. You fold down the rollers, you can lift them up and put them away wherever you want to put them away to. Now, some thoughts post-testing. First thing I'm going to talk about is sprinting. There have been reports with the Wahoo KICKR ROLLR that sprinting isn't great. People have said that the back wheel bounces. Now, on any smart trainer, turbo trainer, you've got to question the sanity, especially with carbon frames and how they've been designed for the stresses they take, to do full out the saddle honking sprints on any smart trainer. Saying that, this thing isn't secured at the back on the back triangle like with smart trainers and turbo trainers, it's secured on the front wheel. I didn't feel great with an expensive carbon fibre bike honking at the front. And saying that, let's face it, the pros are going up things like the Copperberg in the saddle, pumping out at times 700 watts. I think if we want to get full out the saddle honking sprints, we do that on the road. And if you're using something like this, I suggest you put your efforts out sitting on the saddle. But another thing, if you're happy to get out and honk, what I suggest you do is get your weight over the back wheel when you stop sprinting and carry on pedaling. That, I suspect, is the problem that other reviewers have had. Right, let's talk about slope. On the Wahoo KICKR ROLLR, as you know, you can get up to 10% simulation of gradient. And what we did on RGT in this specific occasion is test it straight away, and what happened was we got no slope effect whatsoever. Contacted the RGT team, thank you very much James Vickers and all the dev team behind that, and they very kindly sorted it out, and we had all the elevation and descent we needed with the replication, say up to 10%. What I did discover on a very steep course, thank you very much Paul Nichols and all the events you create on the Magic Roads events on RGT, and what happened was on this particular event we had up to 20% gradients on a course I think was in Scotland. Very steep little short snappy climbs. What happened, even with 10% simulation and 100% on the slider on RGT, it was grabby. So you're probably, if you don't understand what that means, is you've got the two rollers your back wheel sitting on, and what happened is it just felt snatchy. You will have probably had this with the wheel on trainers of the past, the wheel on smart trainers, low resistance. It wasn't as bad as that, but I could feel it slightly twitchy. Now when I slid it down from 70%, it's much better, and at 50%, which most of us ride on platforms like Zwift and stuff like that as well, we had no problems whatsoever. It's very smooth. So I know what we're doing. We've got
20% gradient, it does a maximum of 10 and you're halving that, so it's like a
5% gradient, but it gave me a really good training effect. And from then on, with the team work of the dev team and also sliding it 50% and say up to 70%, it felt fine, no problems whatsoever. In fact, a great training effect. What does the rollers feel like under your wheels? And this is why I prefer rollers. Rollers just feel so smooth, and I feel compared to the other turbo trainers I've got here, and I've got several, when I say turbo trainers I mean smart trainers, I never feel that I can get over the gear and pedal rapidly for a long period of time, 100 RPM for example, which is rapid for me. On these, instantly my Strava figures showed me that my cadence was much higher, so I had a far better spinning action using these rollers. So I think all in all, for a rider feel, these to me feel better than a normal smart trainer. This is just another example of how portable they are. We just did this on the drive, but you can imagine this at the side of a road warming up for a TT or triathlon, and there you have the bike all set up. So three things I like. I like the ability to transport this about, used in multiple places. Yes, it's heavy, but what smart trainers aren't heavy? You can shove this in the back of a reasonably sized vehicle with the back seat down quite easily and take it to events. That's a big tick. 2, I don't have to fanny about with my bike by taking the back wheel out. Dead easy. Just put my bike on, ride it. Dead quick and simple. Want to go out with the same bike? Can do. 3, what I like is the ride feel. The ride feel feels great. Right, 3 things I don't like. 1, well, so I don't like, I've already got power meter on my bike. I actually believe that you should train indoors and outdoors with the same calibrated power meter. That's the only way you can get consistency of your training and measurable, repeatable results. I know some people don't do that. They've got a smart trainer and then they've got a power meter on a different bike to take out. I've got power pedals. So what you would do with this is you would have power pedals, for example the Wahoo Speedplay power pedals, see our unboxing video, or in my case on my bike here I'm using the Garmin pedals, so I've got Garmin power pedals. very easy to use. I've got that. However, for £700, some of you might be thinking, I would have liked a power meter in there. Well, the other thing you might not like, number 2, you might not like, oh, slope's only up to 10%. Lots of you got slope up to 20% and stuff like that. Does it actually detract from the ride experience? No, it doesn't. And the third thing you might not like is the fact that I would actually say for all out sprinting, if you're really into e-racing, it might not be the best, particularly if you haven't got track experience or you aren't a really well balanced outdoor sprinter. I think it depends very much on the experience. If you've only ever been locked in on a rear wheel direct drive turbo trainer and that's your only experience and you haven't got that specific level of technique, you might not like it from that point of view. But all in all, you know, I do really like it. It's really compact. It takes up hardly any space. It's just the space of your bike, that's all. So it's heavy to carry about and lug about to events and stuff like that, but it's brilliant like that. You know, if you're carrying a Tax Neo, that's heavy, you know, but this is just dead good. You haven't got to take your wheel out, anything like that. You just drop your bike in, as you've seen from the video. So I really do like it. It's nice. Would I spend £700 on one? Yeah, I would. I definitely would. So I hope you like the video. Let me know what you think. You know, do you think it's useful for you? Do you think it's useful for esports, or is it something more towards the more experienced cyclist who's going to take it to track meets to warm up, or they're going to take it to time trials and triathlons, and they're also going to use it for training indoors, and when they do sprint efforts they're going to do them seated? Just let me know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching another Titaniumgeek video. Thank you. Bye.